The number of murdered journalists here in the Philippines is considered as one of the worst worldwide. And to talk to us about the killings of journalists, we have with us Sonny Fernandez. He's the director of the National Union of Journalists of the Philippines. Good morning, Sonny, and welcome to Daybreak.
Good morning, Ameline. Good morning to Daybreak televiewers, and thank you for the program and Solar News for this timely opportunity, especially because this is the 53rd month of Ampatuan massacre.
Since November 29,
Yes,
2009.
correct.
What's the status of that case so far?
Last year, the prosecution rested its presentation of the cases, and then it has resumed this year with the defense presenting its case.
But of course, not only that, there are many cases of journalists being killed where up to now there's still no resolution in that particular case. And earlier, before we went on air, you did talk about the number of killings, and then there were only 11 that resulted to a resolution of some sort.
Yes, last year there were 12 journalist murders, and then the latest this year was Rubilita Garcia of Cavite. To put it in the context of democracy, when it was restored, supposed to have been restored in 1986, there are 160 journalist murders in the country now. 20 of these happened under the present administration.
Okay.
So as if the Ampatuan massacre was not enough, 20 more journalists were killed. And then of these 160, 11 got convictions. So that's the reason why the Philippines ranked third in the impunity index. Meaning, impunity meaning many were killed, but few were held to court or were prosecuted.
You mean compared to Iraq and Somalia?
Yes, because Iraq, it's really there's armed conflict.
Yes, there's an armed
conflict.
conflict.
That's why I said we should place this in the context of democracy. There's no war in the Philippines for journalists to be killed left and right in the country.
Okay, we're not looking just at the numbers, but because we're supposed to be at the time of peace, there's really no, unlike the other countries that were mentioned, that there's an ongoing armed conflict. So that's what you're saying, Sonny?
Yes, correct. Sadly, the government is not doing the best of its efforts with all its resources. One, we'd like to take to task Malacanang, especially Sonny Coloma, for saying before that, kung wala naman yung Maguindanao massacre, hindi naman seryoso ang media killings.
Oh, so he did say that it was not so serious.
Insensitive. That's really insensitive. You tell that to the 32 journalists killed, to the families of the victims. And even before Ampatuan massacre, the Philippines always ranked between 3 to 5 in the worst countries for working journalists in the world.
Why do you think that there is that perception? Like even President Aquino, I think, or there were those who are saying that media is too negative, and some are saying that we are too free. What do you have to say about that? And sometimes because of that, it has been an obstacle to development. There are many who say these things. Of course, it does not say that because of that, then we can be killed anytime, right?
But there are politicians who say that because we're critical. There are journalists who were killed because they're being critical. Actually, that's true. Many of these journalists who were killed reported on corruption before they were killed. And of course, the government has so many weaknesses in handling journalist killings. For one, if you remember Bong Andal, the backhoe operator, hanggang ngayon provisionary state witness siya. We appealed to the DOJ na gawin na siyang state witness. Tapos, there were 3 potential witnesses who were killed. So, napapabayaan. So, may problema sa witness protection. Sa police work, malaking problema. May 196 suspects, 103 were arrested. So, less than 90, mga 93 pa ang at large. Malaking bilang yon. Bukod dyan, lahat ng 160 murders, wala pang isa dyan ay mastermind. So lahat ng na-convict sa 11 na yan, lahat sila ay mga triggermen. Walang mastermind. So until after the government pakita niya yung political will to address this issue and stop issuing insensitive and irresponsible statements on media murders, malaking bagay yung iagwat nito. Bukod dyan, I remember 2012, we conducted a dialogue with Prosec Baraan at the Office of the Philippine Press Institute in Manila. This is the Association of Newspapers. He promised to us that one, maglalagay ng CCTV doon sa jail nila Ampatuan, sa kanong Ampatuan suspects. Second, they will help us inform the families of the murders like sa Ampatuan Massacre para ma-update kasi, you know, alam naman natin na ginagapang sila ng mga Ampatuan para mag-withdraw sa cases. So, nade-demoralize sila because parang walang nangyayari.
So, hindi pa naisasagawa yan?
Hindi pa. Pangatlo, sabi nila, they will support us in our call for live coverage of the trial. Kasi, you know, yung families, piniplane in pa sila rito from Mindanao para lang manood ng trial. Pero kung lahat napapanood dyan sa TV, payagan na po ng Supreme Court na ituloy ang live coverage na yan. Malaking tulong to,
para
tututo tayo, makita natin yung tama at mali, mga ganun. So, malaking bagay. Yung mga tatlong yan, we reiterated that sometime in summer of 2013. So, tapos na yung, nung nag-usap kami ni Prosec Baraan, mga third anniversary ng Ampatuan Massacre. And then, hindi pa nangyari yun. So, nakipag-dialogue ulit kami kay Secretary De Lima. And she promised the same thing, na maglalagay CCTV, pero hanggang hindi pa na tutulong tayo sa live coverage. Tapos, pangatlo, nag-offer pa siya. I will help you, pupunta ako sa families para ipaliwanag sa kanya status of the case. Pero hanggang ngayon, magfa 5 years na siya sa November, hindi pa rin nangyayari itong promise. So, isa yon. Maraming lapses. Of course, hindi naman sa government. Maring may problema rin sa atin, hindi tayo conscious sa safety natin, mga journalists. So, isa yun sa kinakampaign ng NUJP na maging conscious, hindi lang ang journalists, maski ang mga networks, media owners, maging responsible din sila sa pag-asikaso sa safety and security ng kanilang journalists. Tapos, sa mga journalists, we always remind them to be conscious of the code of ethics. Dahil magandang tulong yan para maging safe din tayo sa ginagawa natin. I mean, sa basics ng journalism, balance, accurate, na news reporting, dapat doon tayo nag-stick sa trabaho natin. Yun. Actually, kasi karamihan din na napapatay where radio commentators, journalists, ganyan.
Okay, so thank you so much, Sonny, for giving that update and of course reminding us all na we all should do our part.
Yes, thank you so much too, and we invite you to the commemoration of the 53rd month of Ampatuan Massacre at 6 p.m. At the Timog Circle. Sa mga hindi makakapunta, we request that you light candles, say prayers, or write to the congressman or to DOJ, to President Aquino, to appeal.
Thank you so much, Sonny, for joining us this morning.
Thank you too.
Okay, that's Sonny Fernandez. He is the director of the National Union of Journalists of the Philippines.